Bruce Johnson here, and I'd like to ask you a question. When you go to delegate out a task to somebody, are you really clear about that task? Are you? Now, that might seem like a simple question with an obvious answer, but hang with me for a moment. Let's say, for example, that you have a presentation coming up that you have to do to a community group, and you turn to one of the people on your staff and you say, would you please create a keynote, if you're a Mac person, or PowerPoint presentation for me for this presentation I have to do for XYZ company. Now, when you do that, is that really clear? Now, most leaders would say, yeah, sounds pretty clear to me. But if you and I were to ask the delegatee that same question, we'd probably hear, not so much. Why? Because there are a whole lot of unanswered questions and expectations in that, quote, simple delegated task. For example, how about this one? When? Now, in your mind, it's clear that the talk is this Friday or next Friday, but they don't know that. It could be a month from now, and it could be tomorrow. Now, when it comes to the presentation, are there certain milestones? In other words, do you want them to get a revision to you so you can get a revision back? Do you want to go back and forth multiple times or not? Well, be clear about that. When it comes to the actual slide itself, do you have any expectations about that? Are there certain templates you like and certain templates you don't? Do you like the ones that come with PowerPoint or Keynote, or do you want something completely different? When it comes to the slide themselves, are there certain colors you like and certain colors you don't like? When it comes to the fonts, are there certain fonts you like, certain fonts you don't like? And you may be thinking, I don't care. Yes, you do. If you got back something that you didn't like, you go, I don't like that, because there's certain ones you like and certain ones you don't like. How about the size of the headline font versus the size of the text font? Do you like it centered, or do you like it right or left justified? Do you like text that's just plain text? Or do you like text that has a drop shadow to it? If you like a drop shadow, how much of a drop shadow? When it comes to the transitions between the slides, are there certain transitions you like and certain transitions you don't like? When it comes to text transitions, any transitions you like and some you don't. I guarantee you, if you went through the list, you'd find certain ones you like and certain ones you don't like. When it comes to images, are there certain images that you like and certain images you don't like? And hopefully in the don't like category, anything called clip art would be there. Get rid of all that. How about when it comes to the actual points on a slide? Do you want one point on a slide? Do you care if there are multiple points on a slide? In other words, there are a whole lot of expectations that you have about something as simple as a PowerPoint or Keynote presentation that you're probably not communicating when you're delegating out the task. And if we're not communicating those expectations, that's where the conflict keeps coming in. We think it's so clear what they're supposed to do, but they rarely think it's that clear. Now, the tendency for most leaders is almost always to think the problem is out there. It's the delegatee's problem that they didn't give me back the work product that I asked for. Because obviously I delegated out the tasks clearly. But did you? I beg to differ. I think as a leader, usually it's our fault. Usually we're the ones who haven't clearly communicated what the task is and what our expectations about that task are. And if you and I would simply get better clarity about what the task is and what our expectations are, we'd get much better work product back from our delegatees. So do you want to become a better delegator? Well, then I encourage you to take some time to just ask some key questions. I think there are 13 key questions you and I should ask, but if you don't ask all 13, at least ask the first 6, which you already know from English class, the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions. If you just ask those questions before rushing in and delegating, you become a better delegator. And then you begin to experience more and more of the benefits of delegation, like increased productivity, better leverage, better retention of top talent, less stress on your behalf, less conflict. All those benefits accrue to master delegators. Now, if you'd like to learn what the other 7 questions are, plus a whole lot more on how to become a master delegator, I encourage you to go to delegationmastery.net, delegationmastery.net, so you can learn how to become a great delegator. To your accelerated success, Bruce out.